Revelation 4031. From the 27th of April 1947. Unification of the soul and the body with the spirit. What you are able to hear through the inner voice is significant for soul and body and should therefore be heeded by both, that is the soul, the human being's thinking, feeling and wanting, should be stimulated by it, and the body should also be determined to comply with what the soul now thinks, feels and wants. The body can still resist despite the soul's idea. The human being, although inwardly convinced that he has to act differently, can still do what is beneficial for the body but harmful for the soul. Then the recognition of what is right is certainly present, but the will is too weak to let it become action. Their will belongs to the soul, but the will is decisive for the actions of the body. If the will is strong enough, then it determines the body to actions which are beneficial for the soul. Then the soul pulls the body into the spiritual kingdom, so to speak. It is no longer materially minded, that is, earthly desires no longer have the upper hand, although the human being still lives on earth and has to fight with them again and again. Yet the spirit in the human being pulls the soul mightily, and once it has succeeded by virtue of its will in restraining the body from its striving for the world, once it has succeeded in weakening bodily desire and making it inclined towards the soul, then the body will always distance itself more and more from the earthly, that is, it still dwells in the old environment, but its desire has only become weaker and will finally only be for what the soul imparts to it. The body will also find its satisfaction in dwelling in the spiritual kingdom, and the unification of the soul and the body with the spirit can now proceed much more easily than before, where the soul still had to struggle with the body, that is where its will was still too weak to resist the comforts of the world and the striving for earthly good was predominant. But this struggle has to go ahead, otherwise the spirit in the human being cannot make itself heard, otherwise the human being is also unable to hear the subtle voice of the spirit. And therefore the urgent admonition constantly goes out to you humans. Disregard worldly things as much as possible, draw from the source of life, let the spirit within you speak, which is able to give you far more than the world can offer you in pleasures and enjoyments. Direct all your thoughts, feelings and intentions towards the spiritual kingdom as often as you are able to do so. Also carry out earthly activities with your eyes directed upwards, let your thoughts often wander upwards. Call upon God and commend yourselves to His love and grace. And your striving will become more and more spiritual. Earthly things will only touch you as far as it is absolutely necessary for the preservation of the body, and your soul will mature in knowledge, it will become full of light in you, and a heavenly peace will enter your heart, for you have overcome the world. Amen.